What's up, everybody, and welcome back to A Beer a Day with TK. It's Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving, and I'm hanging out in the beer shed, getting ready to check out a new beer. Now, as it's Wednesday, I decided I would get in a WTF Wednesday video. For those of you who may be new to the channel, WTF Wednesday is a one day a week when I do a beer I normally wouldn't on the program. So sometimes that means I do stuff from the big boys, Bud Miller and Coors. Sometimes I do strange offerings for microbreweries. And more recently, I've been trying to do some international stuff. So the beer I have here is called Borsodi, or Borsodi maybe. This is a Hungarian beer, and it looks like this is from Bocs, but it has little umlauts over it. So maybe it's Böcs, Hungary, or Box, Hungary. And this is a beer that Anderson picked up when he was in Europe on tour over the summer. Now, I don't remember if he said that his friend bought this to him, because I know one of his buddies is a Hungarian guy, so I'm not sure if he got it off of him or if this is one of the beers he bought when he was in Prague and thought was Czech and indeed wasn't, so not sure. Anyway, it looks like this is they have it listed as a pale lager, but if you go on to most of the beer apps, it has it listed as an adjunct lager, so I'm guessing this is just going to be kind of like a Euro lager. There's some information on the can, but most of it isn't in English, so obviously I have no idea what it says. Maybe we get an ingredients list in English at least. Nope. Nope, everything looks like it is indeed in Hungarian. Now, I am kind of excited to see this, as I don't really see many Hungarian beers. I don't know if you guys do, but I haven't seen a lot. So this thing looks like it's 4.5% ABV. I'm just going with the Heineken glass, seems fitting. I couldn't find anything on the IBUs. As far as ratings, it does alright. Honestly, a little bit less than alright. On Untappd, it is a 2.84. I usually view a 3 as kind of a middle of the road score. Anything above is better than average, below is below average. Beer Advocate had 2.78, so fared slightly worse, and it had an overall rating of 70, okay. So that's barely passing. Now, if I look at this in a glass, honestly, it just kind of looks like a Heineken. If I break out the Brew HQ chart, this is pretty light in color. Maybe like a 2 or 3, straw colored. You can see straight through it, although there is, excuse me, a ton of carbonation. The head on it is white. It looks very, very silky. This honestly looks like a Heineken in the glass, minus that big skunky whiff we tend to get in the U.S. But I don't know, it looks okay. I mean, looks like what I expect from a Euro lager. Head actually looks really good, though. All right, let's give it a sniff. Kind of sweet, adjuncty. Maybe a light malt presence in there as well. But it's like a sweet adjunct kind of taste. Not disgusting. Some of the Euro lagers, that adjunct smell is just so much that it puts me off immediately. It's not a strong smell. It's just kind of there, but it just smells like an adjunct, man. Like that corny, sweet kind of thing. Yeah, it's enough sniffing it. Let's give it a shot. Cheers. Body is relatively light. Flavors, that's kind of weird. I think up front you kind of get some malty sweetness. Then it kind of goes funky into some kind of, I don't know if that's supposed to be the hops or the bittering thing, but it doesn't work. The bitterness kind of just fades off, and it gets kind of like, I don't know, it tastes like wet cardboard or something. Like, it's not a very pleasant taste. I wouldn't say that it's terrible. It's there. I've had worse beers, but I've definitely had better. So what did I say it had? 2.78, 2.84. That sounds about right. Lightly malty, gives way to kind of like a weird finish. It's, I don't know, somewhat dry. And then it has some weird kind of, I guess, which is supposed to be the hops or the bittering flavor that just kind of falls flat. Doesn't really work for me. It doesn't really have a whole heck of a lot of taste, to be honest. It's kind of just like there. Well, it's definitely not the worst beer I've ever had, but I think those ratings are about right. If I would say 3 is an average, this is a beer I'd probably try again. This probably falls below that line. Now, I think this is a pretty popular beer over there. It looks like on the label here it says Borsodi, but the SO's turned into a 50, so I'm guessing it's the anniversary, maybe 50th anniversary or something of this beer or the brewery. And it says they're a subsidiary of Molson Coors, which makes sense, because this is kind of what it tastes like a generic macro, crapro kind of lager. So for me, this is going to be a thumbs down. It's not terrible. It's just not something that I would want to try again. If you were in Hungary and this is all they had, you could do worse, I guess. But it's certainly not something I would seek out. So, is what it is. Thrilled to be able to try it on this WTF Wednesday. I guess coming in, my expectations weren't that high given the ratings, and this is kind of what the other people tended to think. People are giving it like a 70 rating, barely passing. Maybe that's it. It's not great. Hopefully you liked the video. If you do, please give me a thumbs up, hit that like button. If you want to see more videos like this, please hit subscribe. And as always, got any comments or questions, jump in down below. Have you had this Borsodi or Borsodi, however it's pronounced? If so, let me know what you think about it. Are there any other Hungarian beers I should be looking for that are available in the U.S.? I'd love to try some more. I hate when you get beers from a country and the only thing you try is their version of Budweiser and you don't really know what the other beers from the country are like because all you tasted is the macro crap. Hey, is what it is. Still thrilled to be able to try it. Anderson, thanks for picking this up. So check out the Ginger Yeti's channel. And hey, till next time, cheers.